I don't think anyone expected this not to drop today, but Bryan Mbeumo has picked Manchester United as his next destination. And you know what? I'm slightly happy, I'm not gonna lie, but the job's not done. Word to Kobe Bryant. We've got so much to talk about. So make sure you guys hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. David Ornstein drops a bombshell announcing that Bryan Mbeumo has selected his latest destination next season, and it's Manchester United, having turned down 3 Champions League teams, including Newcastle and Arsenal. Now, over the last week, it was reported that Newcastle was leading the race to sign Bryan Mbeumo because of the pathway in the first team, number one. Number two, the competitive nature of Newcastle next season, Champions League football to offer as well. But it seems like, and well, it's being reported now by multiple journalists, that Bryan Mbeumo has picked Manchester United and club talks have begun. Personal terms are not expected to be an issue. And if Manchester United get this signing done, this will be their second signing of the summer transfer window, and there's still so many other positions to replace. Now, the reason why I'm very excited is because Manchester United need to sign at least 5 starters minimum, and already getting Cunha in the door, bringing in Mbeumo having 20 goals in the league this season, with 9 assists in all competition, 8 assists in the league. He's already got near enough a 30 GA. Firstly, no Manchester United player this season even scored double-digit goals, let alone 20 goals. So he already has more goal involvements than Ahmad and Bruno combined in the league, and that's Manchester United's 2 best contributing players in the league. That's my first point. Second point, Manchester United struggles so much with physicality. That is Man United's biggest issue, and he addresses that point. He can play in a 2 in a striker. He can play out wide, coming in centrally. If Manchester United were to move on from Ruben Amorim and appoint a manager that plays a traditional back 4 with wide players or 2 strikers, then he would be able to play in that. That's another factor for me that is so important. I can't believe it, guys. I can't believe it. 2 10s that consist of Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo. I used to pray for times like this. Manchester United still have so much to do, I think, in the transfer window, but they are addressing the points of concern, and that is the biggest part. Now, hopefully, Brentford and Manchester United are open to agree something. It's reported that he has a transfer valuation of around 50 million, and I think that's also 50 million well spent, because Manchester United are addressing something that they never did in previous transfer windows. They are signing proven players. They are signing players that are proven in the Premier League, have Premier League experience, rather than signing players from other European leagues. When you're addressing, I think, big positions off the back of a horrendous season, you have to sign players that will come in and make immediate impact. There's going to be no questions about, adapting to the league, adapting to the pace and the physicality of the league, because Cunha and Mbeumo both already have that experience, and both players want to play for Manchester United. The fact that they want to come to Manchester United, despite the fact Man United had the worst finish ever, number one, number two, despite the fact that Man United don't really have nothing to offer except for a project and a name like Manchester United, it means that Man United will be able to sign other players. Of course, the striker situation still needs to be addressed, because I think Man United need a striker. But David Ornstein reporting that Manchester United have beaten Arsenal, yes, Arsenal, and Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspurs, all 3 teams that have Champions League football this season. In the coming season, they have Champions League football. They've beaten them. Now, of course, it's probably because he might get more playing time at Manchester United. He's a guaranteed starter, but he's only got 1 year left on his contract, and Brentford have the option to extend for another year, but Brentford have to sell him if they want a reasonable price. I don't think they want what happened with Ivan Toney to continue, where they were holding out for a 60 million fee for Ivan Toney and they ended up selling him for less than 40 to the Saudi league. And it's also about, I think, the future of Thomas Frank as well, at Brentford. I think that's another factor that plays into it. He did say in an interview with Sky Sports that if the right price comes for him, and it could be an expensive price, then Brentford would be open to selling him. But he's such a versatile player, going forward, he's strong. He can play out on the wide side. He can play through the middle. He's a recruitment success for Manchester United if they're able to get that over the line. If I'm honestly speaking, and I've been very critical of Ineos just as a management, if they're able to sign smart recruitment players, players that are effective in the team, players that address so many issues that Manchester United have, then for me, they can get this summer transfer window right. And the most important thing of course, is that it's not just a signing for a system. This is a signing for the future of Manchester United. Bryan Mbeumo is only 25 years old. So Manchester United, if they sign him for a 5+1, they'll be able to have the best of him approaching his peak years. And that is the most important thing. I'm so excited to see how he can work with Matheus Cunha. Of course, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself because, Manchester United still need to address other parts of their game, other parts of their starting 11. But Bryan Mbeumo, honestly, I had a feeling, there was a part of me that didn't believe that United could get it done. I wanted him. I've been wanting him for the last year and a half. But there was a part of me that thought maybe Man United finishing so poorly last season is going to be a hindrance to signing him. But it sounds like Manchester United still got pull in the transfer window. It sounds like going up to players and saying, hey, we're Manchester United. It seems like that works. But I am so chuffed. And you know what? It was reported last week that Andre Onana was doing everything he could to convince Bryan Mbeumo. Obviously, they're Cameroonian nationals together. It was reported that Onana was doing everything he could to convince him to come to Manchester United. If Man United sell Onana and this is his parting gift to Manchester United, then I salute you, Andre Onana. And I'm not going to take back everything I said about you, but I salute you. You're not going to leave as a legend, but thank you very much for your service. Let me know you guys' thoughts down below. How you feeling about this David Ornstein news? Bryan Mbeumo has picked Manchester United as his next destination, and we might get to see him in a Manchester United shirt next season. All that's left now is for United to get the negotiations over the line. 50 million, agree the format of the transfer, how you're going to pay it, whether it's going to be in installments. I imagine that Man United might offer to pay slightly more so that they can spread the payments across multiple years. If that's the case, get it done ASAP.